The new 8-cylinder Aston Martin DB11 puts us in something of a philosophical bind, as it poses the question, how much is the right amount of too much? Does a sports car need a completely ridiculous amount of power? Or will merely excessive do? With due deference to Mark Donahue's oft-quoted assertion that superfluity would arrive only with the ability to spin all wheels in every gear, this smaller engine version of Aston's coupe makes an excellent case that downsizing can have an upside. The DB11 V8 is the first implementation of Aston Martin's agreement with Daimler to use the Germans' twin-turbocharged 4.0-liter V8, the same engine that powers high-performance models in the Mercedes-AMG and Mercedes-Benz families, while the engine also will go into the upcoming replacement for the British brand's smaller Vantage. It makes its Aston debut in the DB11, with 503 horsepower. Its output is the same as in Mercedes-AMG's C63S, against 600 ponies for the DB11's V12. Both DB11 engines have near identical torque outputs. However, with the 4.0 liters 498 pounds-to-feet representing the reduction of just 18 pounds-to-feet compared with the V12. The factory-stated 0 to 62 mph time for the V8 of 4.0 seconds is just 0.1 second behind that of the V12. The DB11 hit 60 mph in 3.6 seconds in our recent test of the V12 model. Claimed top speed suffers more, falling by 13 mph to 187 mph, although we didn't have a chance to confirm this deficit during our drive in Spain. The engine's punchy torque delivery also kept the stability control busy on the twisting and wet roads in the Spanish Pyrenees. On the day of our drive, the rain in Spain fell mainly on the mountains, but the conditions also showed the fundamental balance of the chassis to be near perfect, with front and rear grip levels that allow the big coupe to feel agile without becoming scary. The stability control can be fully defeated, albeit via a convoluted process through a sub-menu selected with the steering wheel control switches, but it feels plenty exciting even with the Guardians on duty, particularly in its most aggressive Sport Plus mode. The reduction in mass over the front axle can be felt. It's not as if the V12 DB11 feels like a late 1970s Cadillac Fleetwood, but the V8 car is markedly fleeter of foot. Given the price of a DB11, the $17,500 savings that comes from selecting the smaller engine isn't a particularly tall heap of beans. 10 seconds with the options list could more than wipe it out, but there are reasons other than cost to choose it, and not just the marginal fuel savings. The V8 model might have less power and a lower top speed, but it offers at least as much character as the V12 while sharpening the rest of the driving experience. Overall, we'd say the choice between the two is almost perfectly balanced.